afternoon, Anju ma'am. How are you doing?
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kriti. How are you?
I'm doing well too. So, what's happening around? What's going on?
So, yeah, I mean, right now, I think with this, the new variant, everybody needs to be a little more careful. And that's all what we are doing, continuing to do our work, but a little bit more responsible, being more sensitive towards other people. And that's it.
So well said. Our safety is in our hands itself. Okay,
Absolutely.
so let's begin with a brief introduction about yourself. Miss Anju.deoskar is an Assistant Director, Admissions Outreach, UG at FAME University, Pune. Miss Anju oversees many facets of the application and admission procedure, including outreach activities pan India and abroad, strategic planning, communications, working with underlying software, and much more. The best part, she says about her job, remains to interact with current students who share their experiences at FLAME and prospective students who navigate through their own unique college search. She works closely with school counselors and educators of secondary schools offering various boards like CBSE, ICSE, IB, and other international boards. A very warm welcome to you, Anju ma'am, on Journey Teachers.
Thank you, Kriti. My pleasure to be here. And I'm here basically to help you and the students who are reaching out to you for some sort of guidance. And I hope we're able to take all your questions.
Absolutely. So I'm here basically to talk about Flame University and the very most frequently asked questions which students as my audience throw at me. So let's start with the very first question. Why should students join Flame University? Let's see how you answer this frequently asked question in an interview.
Absolutely. So it's a place which is absolutely open in terms of its culture. It's in terms of the opportunities it provides to students. In terms of the way we are evolving in terms of taking the university to the next level because we were the first liberal arts university in India. And I think why one should join Flame, I would say, is because, at Flame University, the excellent programs that we offer in, like maybe it's business, computer science, or data science, or applied mathematics, and there are 24 major minor specializations that we offer across, humanities, social sciences, physical sciences, as well as design and arts. So these students, when they look at these excellent programs, I think students who come to Flame University at Pune are looking at, how can they work across disciplines to create an academic plan that probably fits their interest and passion. And that is what we provide to students. It doesn't mean that you have to give up your interest in psychology or design or theater to be able to pursue mathematics or journalism or computer science or any other subject. And when I say so, and this is what students say themselves, so a student may come to Flame to study, say, for example, business and design. And after taking the design courses, they may discover greater passion for hands-on design probably, and that makes Flame unique because it allows student a lot of freedom to design their own curriculum to match their interest. And I think that is something which is really, really important and very relevant in today's world.
Absolutely. This is the most brilliant thing I admire about FAME University and especially the course liberal arts as well, because it gives students really the freedom to choose the interdisciplinary subjects of their own and make their own combinations, whatever they want to study and whatever they enjoy. Okay, so the next question for you is, what all changes do you see that have been brought in the application and the overall selection procedure at Flame University when compared with the last year? And how do you see these changes to be helpful for the students applying and aiming to get inside Flame University?
Okay. So, number one, I think the first and foremost, which is, I think, a very, very important thing is that Flame application window is really wide, which suits every board, every student from every board, be a national curriculum student or an international curriculum student. So the time span itself is beautiful. Our early applications, they start in somewhere in August, and we have a last round towards end of May or early June. This year again we will be tweaking that a bit, because I think this year grade 12 students who are in national curriculum, they gave 2 board exams, and so the time schedule got a little weird for them also, because they had to focus on their exams. So that is first point, the window. The second thing is the application is very, very simple. And once somebody has completed the application, the selection process earlier on, we would have students who complete their application, they would go to some of our centers across the country, and go through their the flame aptitude test, the on spot essay writing, and the interview. When pandemic hit, we made everything 100% online, to an extent that our interview was also one-way online interview. And so that is one part, because you asked me about the change. That's one part we've changed this year. So the students who've already sat through 2 of our cycles, they have done flame entrance aptitude test virtually. They've done their on-spot essay writing virtually. And their interview is again virtual, but it's not one way. So you like how both of us are talking. I mean, this is as much as personalized, setup one can provide given the COVID scenario. So now the applicant will face the faculty and maybe an alumni to engage in the personal interview. So that's just one thing that we've tweaked. And this is the beautiful thing about Flame, that you keep changing. You're not stuck on one ground here, that this is what we do and this will always do. So we keep tweaking and changing as per the requirement to suit the students' needs, basically.
Absolutely. Being open to change is really, matters in this time. Okay. So what does the application and the selection process in Flame University look like? From the university's point of view, what does Flame University look for in the student it wants to have?
So when we're looking at, I'll just give it in a very clean thing. At Flame, we value the student's entire experience. Okay. So there is a very skilled admissions team that take care of the whole, that takes your, the applicant's holistic achievement into consideration while reviewing the application. While strong academic scores are really important, but we want to meet the person behind them and learn what they value and care for. And hence the application has various elements in it where the students must put forward their interest and their experiences in areas other than just the classroom or their subjects that they study. So given that, I think we're looking for a student with very diverse interest who can, strengthen the connection between, living and learning both, and participate in everything that the Flame has to offer. And selection process, of course, is very, very balanced when it comes to, on what basis am I selecting you? There is a certain weightage to your academics. We can't put that in the backseat, because university's undergraduate program is rigorous, and we say it to students very upfront, because it's not something that they'll just, open the book last day and, they'll get through some assessments. That's not the way it happens at Flame. And we're looking at students who are really curious, who are capable of research, writing. And if you see, these are the exact elements that we assess also in our selection process.
Absolutely. Flame University looks at the overall holisticity of the application, not just the academics, but the co-curriculars as well, and including a lot of factors. Okay. So most of the students ask me about the questions that they'll be asked in the interview and how should they prepare for the same, especially because this time it's a one-on-one faculty interview. So some interview tips would really help.
So, I would say, and I mean it, okay? Please be yourself. Do not try to, become somebody else, because the faculty that's interviewing you has read your as a statement of purpose. They've read your essay, on spot essay. They've seen your academic achievements. They've seen what your interests are. They've seen your profile. Whatever you've shared with us, they have seen that. And if, for example, you're talking about, that you're really interested to study economics at Flame University, and you've done this macro, micro, and you try to impress by writing something in your statement of purpose. So please be assured that a question might lead to asking you more details about your interest in economics. And if you're really not interested, and if you're faking it, you'll definitely get caught. And then probably the decision will be made based on, of course, your overall performance. But that could be a negative point from one perspective, not that you're not aware about that topic that was asked, but you've been just kind of misleading somebody else into building a certain profile. So just be yourself, number one. So that's point number one. Number two, I think we do value people who have very strong communication skills. So if you want, you should practice. If you have, the tip from me is that please talk to yourself in the mirror. Ask some random question, ask some specific question, ask some questions which in the area where you're really interested in. Just talk to yourself. And if you like it, then we'll like it too. If you don't like it, then you need to brush up certain things. That's the only mantra for any interview, whether it's a college application interview or any other interview.
Absolutely. Don't try to be someone else, but just be yourself and just talk to them. Just have a exciting conversation as well. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
That is so true. Thank you for these wonderful tips. Okay. So one of the questions I get asked the most is about where should one practice the FEAT examination? How can they clear the exam? Because Flame provides the sample paper. But what about the previous year question papers or some kind of reference books as well?
I'll tell you something. The whole architecture of the admission selection process, the way we follow at Flame, is built upon certain ways where we want to find a way to accept you, and it's not a system where you have a system to reject people. Okay. So, having said that, FEAT probably is a very, very, the way it's kind of shared on our, website, and what we speak to students also. It is essentially talking about, your verbal abilities, your reasoning abilities, quantitative abilities, general knowledge. And the whole structure is such where you finish everything in 2 hours, right? So students, what they need to prepare for FEAT is the sample paper is just a sample paper. I think you have prepared that, because even if I'm talking about math, it would be the basic math of grade 10 level. But just that the way it's asked, you have to kind of really put on your thinking cap. And we don't recommend any coaching, any training. I've in fact very shockingly heard that there are some people who say that we'll train you to crack the Flame entrance aptitude test. We don't run any such classes, nor do we recommend one of those things. I think in grade 12, you're already preparing for your boards. What better preparation can you have? That is a question. What better preparation or prepared form would you be in then when you're giving your board, the year you're giving board? The convenience of the FEAT is so beautiful. The flexibility that you can pick, you can look at the date that suits you, the time that suits you. It's virtual, it's online. I think that's a best combination to do. So please don't worry about getting past papers. There are no past papers sort of a thing. We just give one sample. And I think what you're already preparing for your board is enough preparation, in my opinion. We do not recommend, going to somebody and getting getting coached. For people who've left their mathematics in grade 11 and 12, they definitely can, brush up their math, what they left, in grade 10. I think that's the only tip that I can give you.
Absolutely. I see some people, they are running behind previous year question papers and we want to practice more and more. But that's true. If your basics are well done and you are preparing for your boards, it will work. It will really work. You do not need to pay anything extra for buying the previous year question
Not at
papers,
all.
as some websites are doing that. So we would not recommend this. Okay. So a lot of the prospective students ask me the questions about fees being high because Flame University is a private university and the scholarships being available accordingly depending upon a lot of factors. So what do you have to say about this?
So, so the fee is, the kind of experience that the students have on campus is absolutely next level. Whether you talk about the faculty, whether you talk about the facilities available, the infrastructure that's provided, the quality of education which is at par with international universities, then automatically, there's a whole lot of to keep that ecosystem healthy. We need to run it the right way. So I would say the fees pretty much justifies that. But having said that, if somebody has been shortlisted after the flame entrance test, and should that family not be able to pay the fee, you do not have to worry. There is a room for you. If you've been selected, you will come to the college where the financial aid would be provided. Now, when we saying financial aid, it must go to a deserving person, because just to save some funds, you can't fake it or falsely apply for financial aid. If you're able to afford it, you're expected to pay it. But if you really can't afford it, you don't have to worry about this. And we have 30% of our students, each cohort, they are on scholarship. That's
Wow.
one part. Second thing is that we also appreciate talent. So students who may be able to afford the fee, but they're very talented and they've been, shortlisted by the admissions committee. When you get an offer letter, it comes along with the scholarship. So it will say that, Kriti, this is your offer letter, and you've been given, 40% of your tuition fee is offered as a scholarship. So that's something that we do all the time. And the reason for doing this is to bring in some sort of, intellectual density in a classroom, where when you're debating, when you're engaging in different sort of activities, there's some sort of, good stimulation in people's ideas, thoughts. They get inspired by, the company that they have in the class. So yes, scholarship is very, very important. And I think the fee that we charge, we absolutely justify in what we are providing.
Absolutely. So, am I not wrong to say that if you are deserving and if you are talented, then Flame University will not let you go. And financial aid is always available. Scholarships are always available to help you.
Absolutely, absolutely, Kriti.
Yeah. Okay. So, how would you differentiate the way Flame looks at the weightage it gets to the academics and the co curricular activities?
It's just how I see it is that maybe 40% of your time is within your academic engagements. 60% of your time you're doing so many different things which are absolutely, absolutely amazing for students, because what happens is students not only are part of just some the clubs that they're formed, or sports that they play, but they're also part of certain things, events that are very centric and compulsory in a way for students, be it sports or students club, whether it's TEDx Flame University, or Vajra, which is another festival, or Kurukshetra, inter-college competition, Flame Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Flame Investment Lab, conferences that happen, conclaves that happen. There is so much happening. There is not a dull moment at all where students will feel that, hey, you know what, today my day was boring. It's always so much that you have to do, and that's the whole purpose. In the evenings you might go out. One music club is organizing something. The other day in the morning you see sports. There's some stargazing happening by the astronomy club, or the yoga club is doing something. There's always something or the other that's happening.
Absolutely, the energy of university is really infectious, and you will never feel bored at such a wonderful university, which provides a
And
plethora of
also, Kriti, the
opportunities.
campus,
Yeah,
sorry. Also, Kriti, the campus is, we spread over almost 60-65 acres of land within the valley. And the open spaces, the architecture of the entire university, the library, it's open 24/7, literally, when you have exams happening. And on the other working days, it's open till maybe 12:30. Students can go to the library, sit there, have a discussion. Maybe the professors are teaching there. There are 8-10 open amphitheaters. People are sitting and having some classes. So yes, there are 4 cafes on campus. The sports facility is so nice, which is open for students. The gymming is there. I mean, you just name it and it's there. And I would really advise everyone listening that please go onto the website, look it up. And I always say that everybody loves traveling, going around and everything. These days, of course, there's certain restrictions, but once these restrictions eases, do come make an appointment with on the website. Come and see the campus, and you'll know what I'm talking.
absolutely. Explore the university, and you will find such a holistic, area of opportunities out there. Okay. So, the Flame University is also known well for the business domain, and the placements are the highest in that, right? So, what's your take on other courses like liberal arts, in which a combination of subjects is being considered and the placements related to it?
Absolutely, and a very, very good question. And a lot of parents, a lot of students, they do ask about it. So, if I have to just talk about the career path, not only the management or business that you're speaking about, but even the others. Students have been going in the industry of academia itself, in technology, be it financial services, be it public policy and think tanks, or branding and advertising. And I'm just going to read out some names, if that makes sense to anyone, about the alumni achievement and our alumni going places, literally. If I have to divide this in 6 categories of consulting, technology, financial services, media, think tanks, and consumer industry, be it Nestle, Nike, World Bank, okay, United Nations, HarperCollins, Credit Suisse, McKinsey, Deloitte, Microsoft, JP Morgan. I mean, you just name it. So students are going everywhere. The more important question is, how well are we preparing students to even go for multiple careers? And here I'll just give you a little example of one of our alum, Saloni. She majored in finance and her minor was digital marketing and communication. She finished her university, her undergrad course, went into the finance industry, worked for 2 years. She just thought that was not what that makes her happy, because we change, people change. You have to understand, it's not like what I decide today, I'm supposed to just stick with it for the rest of my life. The world is changing, people are changing, your likes and dislikes are changing. So she could very smoothly switch from finance to digital marketing space. And we're very, very proud. She's been awarded 30 under 30, and she's an influencer. She loves her job. Does finance help her there? Absolutely. And this is the beauty of the program. If you see the career trajectories of people who've studied in liberal education, they have the capability and bandwidth to switch careers. I'm not talking about one career. And these are typically questions from parents, because we studied in a very, very conventional way, and it's difficult for us to juggle that way. But then again, a question to all those parents. you ask 10 adults, and I think 8 out of 10 do not have any connection between what they studied and what they're doing. so, uh,
Absolutely.
so how, where do you take, what do you really prepare the students for? So the whole program is designed in such a way that, you're picking up very, very diverse range of subjects, and then you're ready for diverse range of careers. It's as simple.
Absolutely. Flame University prepares students for not only during the university life, but after that as well. So it really prepares and influences the whole experience of the student. Okay,
Absolutely. And the best thing is that, the connection, the alumni network that we have, it that kind of supports, the students who are applying now. Having said that, there is a very, very large percentage of students from undergraduate who go in for their postgraduate, for their masters, because the program again is very stimulating, and you don't settle for something that you finished. You move curious, or you found some interest. So students do about 40%, 50% of students will go into for their post graduation, and the rest of the 50 get involved in the careers that we just spoke about.
definitely. And the next question was absolutely related with it only. Like, what are the opportunities that students can get during their time in Flame University and even after passing out? How does this university influences students' life in such a way?
So, the thing is, the moment the students come into in their first year, we have something called as peer mentoring that happens from day one. Because just imagine, it's about two things. It's about how we receive the students and how we, say a bye to them, not forever, but of course, yeah, they're stepping into a different world. So when they come into the university, these students have come from a school where, you just have choices between, like, arts, commerce, and science streams a school may offer. IB schools are a little different, or, just in a set curriculum. Now, when you come to the university, you suddenly are going to pick up one major minor combination after your first year out of 353. That's a huge amount, which means that you have to take off 352. You're getting my point? So it's a big decision. And out of which, say, for example, if I'm interested in finance, I have 21 other minor options with finance. Or if I want to do psychology, I have 21 other possible minors for psychology. If I'm doing computer science, I have 7 other options to take for a minor. So in whole, I mean, even if you narrow down to, maybe if somebody who's interested in finance may look at business analytics, may look at economics, may look at data science and economics. So these 4 into 15, 15. So say about 100 odd combinations, you have legit interest in those 100 combinations. Then you have to narrow it down. So how do you finish that journey? So we have peer mentoring that happens. And here what happens is, a peer who's already been through that journey tries to help the students through various activities they do. They go and meet the seniors who may have taken those possible major minors. So that's one part of hand holding within the program. The moment they come into the second year, the kind of finishing the second year, we have a career cell and the placement cell within the university. So these people and the faculty mentoring and alumni mentoring. So after you've kind of settled down with your interest in major minor, now you have to start looking at what you're going to do after your undergraduation. You're engaging with your faculty to understand that, hey, this is my the subject that I'm studying and I'm specializing in. What are the careers? What's the scope of research? Where can I go? So there's some faculty mentoring happening, alumni mentoring. People who are already there in the industry, sort of give them some internships and they get a real life exposure. Career guidance, where to understand what is their goal. Do they want to start a career, or do they want to have, certain other degrees that they want to do? What will be more beneficial, aligning that to their goal? Then we have placements, of course, after you finish. So there's a whole lot of experience that's happening for a student within these 3 years. And of course, the fourth year is an optional year at Flame University, where you can convert your subjects into honors. If I'm doing psychology and economics, I'll become honors in psychology if I continue to do the fourth year. So that's how a student life is.
This is such amazing to hear this. Literally, this is really a variety of opportunities, and these are really blowing my mind as well. So I'm so glad to hear.
So, Kriti, people don't understand when they're looking for their universities, the way you read and write in a school and the way you are expected to read and write in the university is way different. It is way different. It is, and especially in Flame, which is very research oriented, it is even more tougher. So we also have some support centers such as Writing Center or the Q Center or a Teaching and Learning Center. So these centers essentially, because we may have a student from CBSE curriculum where research and writing isn't taught as part of the program as compared to maybe an IB student probably. When you come here and everybody has to research and write, so there is a writing center, and these classes happen throughout the year, because these students will have to, towards the end of the second year, write maybe 30,000 word research report for their Discover India project, which is almost a mini thesis. So how will that student write? So we have these support centers. So there is lots there. It just depends on also the student, how much do you go out and use it, and which is a better question for me, because so at Flame, with these different clubs and different groups, how people connect, it just keeps them motivated. And everybody is helping out each other. Faculty is very helpful. So there's a lot of support system, I think. One is to offer something, and the other is to make that journey more enriching. So yes, we're not perfect, but we definitely try to help and do as much as we can for the students.
Absolutely. University life is such a, it opens a new horizons of opportunities and a new world for you. And especially Flame University, it enriches the whole experience and the process. Okay. So one thing I want to ask you is that what if the students think that she has done well in each step of the application process and the selection procedure, but is not being selected by the university? And according to my knowledge, the university doesn't specify a reason. So what should the student look at? Reapplying the same year, or what should be done in such a case?
So, every person who's applied has been advised by one of the program advisors from my team, and we are in touch with those people. Students must remain in touch with their program advisor to just understand, to understand what should be the next step. So now, for example, students really, is probably Flame is on top of the list for that particular student. You have to reapply in one of the following cycles. And I always advise students to take the benefit of the early application round so that you can finish it, the decision, and you can focus on your board exams. So, but answering to your question, yes, the student, if he's not been able to, has not been shortlisted, please get in touch with your program advisor. Try to understand. They'll be able to counsel you definitely. And in my advice, you can definitely apply for this year, because Flame allows student to apply twice. Because, sometimes it's just a bad day and you don't know what happens, okay? So, yes, you do get another chance.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves another chance, and bad things can happen. So you always learn from your mistakes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So does getting selected in Flame University depend upon in which particular cycle does one apply in? Is that student applying in the early decision cycle has more chances of getting selected as compared to the one who is applying in the last cycle?
So, this is very relative because what happens is you get every application round gets certain pool of applicants in each cycle, right? Now, we do not have any fixed system of like, you know, any preference for any cycle. The selection process is exactly the same for the student who applied in the early decision versus somebody who applied in April round or May round. The only factor is that, towards the end, the applications numbers are very, very big, and the probability probably becomes less. And which is the reason why I always advise, if you've shortlisted and if this is the university you want to, please take the advantage of the early decision rounds. And here also you get another chance. If you're applying in the last cycle, that's the last cycle. We can't give you any other chance. So, that's something I would like you to consider.
Exactly. Okay. Students, what I see, students are really passionate and are dedicatedly working hard to get inside Flame University. Many of them shared with me how they would feel after getting selected and, experience that kind of freedom in whatever subjects they want to study and basically experience the holistic and interdisciplinary nature of education with Flame University. So, what, according to you, would be the overall suggestions you want to give to these aspiring students? How can one fulfill one's dream of getting inside Flame University?
Start early, for students when you're in your grade 9. I think you should start thinking about, have a a wish list sort of a thing, and put everything there, whatever impresses you. By the time you come in your grade 11, you have some options there. You shortlist some of them. And I think the moment you have that clarification, or for those who kind of really decide last minute, I think the only way to answer that question is that you must come prepared. Though the admission process is very holistic, there's weightage to your academics from your grade 10, 11, where we've seen some sort of consistency in your performance. And there's a weightage given to your aptitude test and some interviews and SOPs and on-spot essay. So when there's so many elements, I think the key is in preparation. You have to prepare. You just can't come that, okay, now I've got a letter and now I'll just open my computer and I'll start my test. So that's something, you may be really lucky to get through, but I don't recommend that, because that also reflects in your, your behavior and everything. So come prepared, take it seriously. Again, I'm telling you, any person who's applied has been assigned a program advisor. Get in touch with them. They're very, very helpful. They'll guide you through the process, what to prepare, how to prepare, and all of those things. So we're very, very helpful and reachable people, I would say. So I don't think so. Students must stress. And one thing I always tell everywhere I get a chance, we need you as much as you need us. So don't be stressed. Have confidence in yourself, please, and then go for it.
So well said. University also needs students for it to, experience that kind of wonderful, that correlation between themselves. And you do not need to hesitate. Just reach out. Flame University is really helpful and it will definitely solve all your problems and all your queries you have.
Absolutely.
Okay. You want to talk about the ways in which students can reach out to you in case of queries, anything and everything.
So, the best way to reach out is this. If you go onto the website, there's a tab where you can inquire. Okay, just write your 2 lines. We look at them every single day, and normally within 24 to 48 hours, you get your reply and a call. Apart from that, anybody wants to reach out to me, you can definitely write to me. My email ID is anju.deoskar, DEOSKAR, @flame.edu.in, and I'll be very, very happy to help you.
Absolutely. I will also drop the mail ID in the description below, and you can write to ma'am anytime, and she would be surely ready to help you out. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really insightful and wonderful to talk to you. And thank you for your beautiful suggestions to students. And I wish students all the very best this year and the coming years as well who are applying for Flame University. And this university surely enriches your university's life and your overall experience. So I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Kriti, and all the best to all the students, one step at a time. Right now, figure out your choices and focus on your grade 12 exam. And there's a lot of time to decide what you want to do. Don't think too hard. Don't kick yourself too hard. Take it easy. Be more confident. Stay yourself and ask for help. If you don't know something, reach out to people. They are there to help you. Okay. All the best, everyone. And thank you, Kriti, once again. I really had a wonderful time. Very, very friendly. And I'm absolutely surprised, a young girl like you, and you're helping so many people in your you know following, and your friends that are following you, or people who are coming to you for advice. You absolutely impressive.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.